Have you ever dreamed of going to space? Rocket. Imagine looking up at the night sky, seeing the stars, and thinking, one day, I will go there. Today, we will learn English through the powerful story of Elon Musk, the boy who started with nothing but big dreams, and became the man who built SpaceX. This is not just a story about rockets. It is a story about failure, courage, and never giving up. And as you listen, you will also improve your English listening and vocabulary step by step. Elon Musk was born in Pretoria, South Africa, in 1971. His father was an engineer. His mother was a model and a nutritionist. On the outside, it looked like a normal family. But inside the home, life was not always happy. Elon often felt alone, like nobody truly understood him. He was a small boy with a big imagination. He could sit for hours, reading book after book. While other children laughed and played football, Elon was in the library, traveling through pages. He read about planets, spaceships, heroes, and machines. Books became his best friends. They never laughed at him, never pushed him, never hurt him. They only opened new worlds. But school was cruel. Elon was different, and children can be unkind to anyone who is different. They bullied him. They laughed at the way he talked, the way he looked, the way he thought. One day, the bullying went too far. A group of boys pushed him down a staircase. He was badly hurt and had to stay in the hospital for days. For many kids, this would break their spirit. But for Elon, it was fuel. He told himself, one day, I will show them. One day, I will do something so big that nobody will ever laugh again. Elon found safety in computers. He taught himself how to code. At the age of 12, he created his first computer game, Blaster. The game was simple, a spaceship shooting aliens. But for Elon, it was proof. Proof that he could build something real, something that other people wanted. He sold the game for $500. For a 12-year-old boy, that was like winning a treasure. But more important than the money, it gave him belief. Belief that he could turn imagination into reality. Think about it. A lonely boy, no friends, no protection, hurt at school, and yet, with nothing but a small computer, he creates something worth money, something people enjoy. This is how great journeys begin, not with strength, not with money, but with a dream and a mind that refuses to give up. Think about it. A lonely boy, no friends, no protection, hurt at school, and yet, with nothing but a small computer, he creates something worth money, something people enjoy. This is how great journeys begin, not with strength, not with money, but with a dream and a mind that refuses to give up. But before reaching the United States, Elon took another path. He went to Canada, where his mother was originally from. He was only 17 years old, carrying a small suitcase and a giant dream. Life in Canada was not easy. Elon worked small jobs, cleaning, shoveling, even working in a lumber mill. Hard, dirty jobs that paid very little. But Elon did not complain. Every day, while his hands worked, his mind dreamed. He saw Canada not as an end, but as a door to America. Finally, Elon made it to the United States. He studied at the University of Pennsylvania. There, his hunger for knowledge grew stronger. He studied physics and economics, two fields that would later shape his destiny. But Elon was not just a student. He was a dreamer with action. While others partied, Elon read books about rockets, about business, about the future of humanity. He often said, if something is important enough, you should try, even if the odds are against you. Elon's first big dream was not rockets. It was the internet. In the 1990s, the internet was new, fresh, and full of possibilities. Elon saw what many people did not see: the internet would change everything. He started his first company, Zip2, with his brother Kimball. It was a software company that helped newspapers move online. The company was small, the office was tiny, and Elon slept on the floor. He showered at the local gym because he could not afford an apartment. But slowly, Zip2 grew. And one day, Compaq, a big computer company, bought it for over $300 million. Elon's share was $22 million. For the boy who once sold a game for $500, this was the start of something incredible. Think of this journey. A boy bullied at school, leaving his country, cleaning floors in Canada, sleeping on the floor in America, and then, a few years later, becoming a millionaire before the age of 30. It sounds like magic, but it was not magic. It was courage, work, and a dream that never died. After selling Zip2, Elon Musk became a millionaire at just 28 years old. But money was never his final goal. He once said, "I don't care about being rich. I care about making things that matter." With this mindset, he started a new company in 1999. It was called X.com. The idea was simple but powerful: online banking. At that time, people were afraid to use the internet for money. They thought it was unsafe. But Elon saw the future again. He believed money, like messages, would one day travel instantly online. X.com merged with another company called Confinity. Together, they built a product that would change the world: PayPal. PayPal allowed people to send money through email. Simple. Fast. Safe. For the first time, two people in different countries could pay each other in seconds. PayPal grew fast. It became the favorite tool for buyers and sellers on eBay. Suddenly, the small startup became a giant in online finance. Elon Musk was the largest shareholder. In 2002, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion. Elon Musk's share was $180 million. For many people, this would be the end of the story: retire, live rich, enjoy life. But Elon was different. He was not satisfied with cars, houses, or luxury. He was thinking about humanity, about the stars, about survival. He once said, "I could buy fancy things. But what does it matter? The future of humanity is more important." Elon had money now, but money was just the fuel. His real dream was still waiting. Since childhood, he had looked at the stars and imagined flying among them. He began to ask a bold question: why does space travel cost so much? Why is going to Mars just a dream? Why can't humanity become a multi-planet species? Most people laughed. They said, "You are an internet guy. You know nothing about rockets." But Elon did not care. He was ready to risk his entire fortune to bring humanity closer to the stars. Think about this moment. A man with millions in his bank could have lived the easy life. But instead, he chose the hardest path. He put everything on the line, not for himself, but for the future of humanity. That is the difference between living rich and living with purpose. In 2002, with $180 million in his bank account, Elon Musk took the biggest risk of his life. He founded a new company, SpaceX, Space Exploration Technologies. His mission was clear but almost impossible: make space travel cheap and open the road to Mars. At that time, rockets were only built by governments: NASA in America, Roscosmos in Russia. No private company had ever made a rocket that could go to orbit. People thought Elon was crazy. But he smiled and said, "When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are against you." Between 2006 and 2008, SpaceX launched its first rocket, the Falcon 1. And it failed. The first launch exploded after just 33 seconds. Millions of dollars were gone. But Elon did not stop. They built another rocket. The second launch reached higher, but failed again. Still, Elon believed. He put in more money, more time, more sleepless nights. The third launch was their last chance. This time, the rocket almost reached orbit, but at the last minute, it failed again. 3 failures in a row. Most investors left. Journalists wrote, "SpaceX is dead." Elon had spent nearly all his fortune. He was close to bankruptcy. He said later, "I had a choice, either SpaceX dies, or I put in my last money. I chose to fight." In September 2008, SpaceX tried one more time. The fourth Falcon 1 stood tall on the launch pad. The team was nervous. Elon was silent, his eyes fixed on the rocket. The engines fired. The rocket rose. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, still flying. For the first time in history, a private company put a rocket into orbit. The SpaceX team jumped, screamed, and cried. Elon Musk had tears in his eyes. Later he said, "That day, my whole world stopped shaking. For the first time, I believed SpaceX would survive." Only weeks after the success, something incredible happened. NASA gave SpaceX a contract worth $1.6 billion to deliver supplies to the International Space Station. That contract saved the company. From almost dying, SpaceX now had a future. Elon Musk had risked everything, and at the last moment, he won. Imagine failing again and again, losing money, losing trust, losing hope, but still standing up, still fighting, still believing. That is Elon Musk. Not a genius without problems, but a man who refused to give up. While fighting to save SpaceX, Elon Musk was also dreaming about something else: electric cars. In 2004, he joined a small startup called Tesla Motors. At that time, electric cars were a joke. People thought they were slow, ugly, and useless. But Elon believed the opposite. He said, "We have to move the world to sustainable energy. We cannot burn oil forever." Tesla's goal was clear: build a fast, beautiful, and powerful electric car that could beat gasoline cars. Elon invested millions of his own money. He became the chairman of Tesla's board, and soon, its driving force. Tesla's first car was the Roadster, launched in 2008. It was not perfect. It was expensive, and production was slow. But it proved one thing: electric cars could be exciting. The Roadster could go from 0 to 100 km per hour in less than 4 seconds. People were shocked. Suddenly, the world started to take electric cars seriously. But then came 2008, the year of disaster. The global financial crisis hit. Banks were collapsing. Investors were running away. SpaceX had failed 3 times. Tesla had huge debts. Elon Musk was running out of money. He had spent almost all of his fortune trying to keep both companies alive. At Christmas 2008, Elon said, "I had to borrow money for rent. I was supporting 2 companies, and both were dying." But then, 2 miracles happened almost at the same time. First, SpaceX succeeded with its 4th launch and got the NASA contract. Second, Tesla received last-minute funding from investors, saving it from death. Elon later said, 2008 was the worst year of my life. SpaceX and Tesla were within hours of dying. But somehow, we survived. The Model S showed the world that electric cars were not just possible, they were better. By 2012, both companies had survived their darkest days. SpaceX was launching rockets for NASA. Tesla was building cars people actually wanted. Elon Musk had risked everything, and now the world was starting to see the results. But Elon was not finished. He said, "This is only the beginning. We have to go further, to Mars, to the future. Rockets are expensive. Before SpaceX, every rocket was used only once. Imagine if you threw away an airplane after one flight. Crazy, right? That's how space travel worked for decades." Elon Musk thought, "This is insane. We must reuse rockets, just like airplanes." In 2015, after many explosions and failures, SpaceX did the impossible: the Falcon 9 rocket landed safely back on Earth. For the first time in history, a rocket was used again. This moment changed everything. SpaceX had just made space cheaper, safer, and more accessible. NASA, private companies, and even governments started using SpaceX rockets. The space industry would never be the same again. But Elon Musk's eyes were always on a bigger goal, Mars. He said, "Earth is beautiful, but one day something bad might happen. To survive as a species, we must become multiplanetary. Mars is the next step." SpaceX started building the Starship, the largest rocket ever, designed to carry people to the Moon and Mars. Elon promised, "We will make life multiplanetary." Think about it. A boy who once read science fiction books in South Africa was now building real spaceships for humanity. What was once a dream, now is a mission. Elon Musk wanted to give the human race a second home, a second chance. Cars used to be noisy, dirty, and full of smoke. But Elon Musk imagined a future where cars were clean, fast, and electric. Tesla started with a small sports car, the Roadster. Then came the Model S, a luxury car that shocked the world. People realized, electric cars are not boring, they are powerful. Elon wanted more than luxury cars. He wanted electric cars for everyone. That's why Tesla created the Model 3, affordable, stylish, and efficient. The Model 3 became the best-selling electric car in the world. Tesla wasn't just a car company. It was a revolution on wheels. But Elon Musk's vision was bigger than cars. He said, "We can power the whole world with the sun." Tesla created solar panels and the Powerwall, a battery for homes. The idea was simple but powerful: capture sunlight, store it, and use it anytime. Clean energy, clean future. Every Tesla car, every solar panel, was part of one mission: save the planet from pollution. Elon Musk once said, "I don't just want to build cars. I want to change the world." And step by step, Tesla became not just a company, but a movement. By the late 2010s, Tesla was no longer a small company. It became a giant. The Model 3 was breaking sales records. Tesla's stock price went up and up, turning Elon Musk into the richest man in the world. People once laughed at him, saying electric cars would never succeed. Now, those same people were driving Teslas. To keep up with demand, Tesla built gigafactories, massive factories the size of cities. These factories produced batteries, cars, and clean energy systems. They made Tesla faster, cheaper, and stronger. China, Germany, the US, gigafactories started rising everywhere. But Elon Musk wasn't done. He looked up, again, to space. Millions of people on Earth had no internet. Musk said, "What if satellites could bring the internet to everyone?" SpaceX launched Starlink, a network of thousands of satellites. Today, Starlink gives internet access to remote villages, ships in the ocean, even planes in the sky. Elon Musk was changing two worlds at once. On Earth, cleaner cars, cleaner energy. In space, global internet and future colonies. It was no longer just business. It was history being written. Elon Musk, a man who dares to dream bigger than anyone else. From electric cars to rockets, from satellites to factories of the future, his vision touches every corner of our world. But not everyone agrees. Is he a genius, a disruptor, or just a controversial figure? With Tesla, he redefined the car industry and pushed humanity toward clean energy. Starlink connects people in the most remote areas, making the internet a global right. And his gigafactories show the world that innovation and sustainability can work together. These are not just projects, they are steps toward a future we once thought impossible. Yet, not all is perfect. Critics point to his harsh management style, ambitious deadlines, and controversies over working conditions. Some say he takes too many risks. But in every challenge, there is a lesson: innovation demands courage, and every dream has its opponents. Elon dreams of Mars colonies, merging humans with AI through Neuralink, and moving at incredible speeds in the Hyperloop. His vision is not for himself, but for humanity. He wants to expand our limits, make life multiplanetary, and inspire generations to imagine beyond the ordinary. Some call him a visionary, others a disruptor, and some see him as too risky. But the truth is clear, his influence is undeniable, his ideas push humanity forward, and his dream reminds us that the impossible is only temporary. If you want us to dive deeper into his inventions like Neuralink, Hyperloop, and more, tell us in the comments. And before we end, the epic story continues. His projects are still shaping the future, and every dream he chases teaches us something. So, what's the word you learned from this story?